For the Bado's political career is undoubtedly experiencing turbulence. Already his ODM party has resolved to create space for his impeachment by the Migori County Assembly over the corruption allegations.
We have consulted extensively with them. We have largely agreed with MCS, with a few reservations here and there, that really for Migori County to continue functioning, we need to make a decision. It may be a painful one, but it is the decision that can be made. That is to have the governor of Migori County impeached.
A total of 37 out of 41 ODM MCS from Migori County Assembly attended a meeting to plan for Bado's proposal impeachment at a Nairobi hotel, with ODM Chairman John Mbadi, Secretary General Edwin Sifuna leading the meeting. A letter by ODM Executive Director Oduor Ongwen dated August 31st, addressed to the Migori County Assembly Chief Whip Keke Oyugi, summoned all the Migori ODM MCAs to the meeting within a short notice, a meeting that went for the better part of Tuesday evening. Obado has since accused a section of political leaders within the county of orchestrating his impeachment and corruption wars.
Now, a special tribunal formed to investigate the conduct of Justice Njagi Mirete of the Employment and Labor Relations Court has reinstated him after months of investigations. The tribunal formed by President Uhuru Kenyatta dismissed misconduct allegations raised against Justice Mirete, saying the allegations were not proved and therefore Justice Mirete ought not to be removed from office. Dickens Luvanda has this story.
High Court Judge Justice D.K. Njagi Mirete has survived ouster from the Employment and Labor Relations Court, where he had been serving after a tribunal formed to investigate him found him innocent. President Uhuru Kenyatta formed an 11-member tribunal led by Justice Al-Nashir Visram to investigate the conduct of Mirete after the Judicial Service Commission JSC through Chief Justice David Maraga in May 2019 proposed that he ought to be investigated and possibly face the sack if found culpable.
The mandate of the tribunal is contained in the Gazette Notice number 4851 was to investigate the conduct of the Honorable Judge in relation to the allegations of gross misconduct or misbehavior as contained in the petition by the JSC dated the 8th of May 2019.
Other members of the tribunal include lawyer Paul Omondi, who led the counsel of the tribunal, Justices Peter Kariuki and Josiah Musili, who were the joint secretaries, among other 7 justices.
We find no merit in the sole allegation of gross misconduct or misbehavior against the Honorable Judge. In consideration of all the evidence standard and having found that the allegations against the Honorable Judge was not proved, the tribunal unanimously recommended to His Excellency the President that the Honorable Mr. Justice D.K. Njagi Mirete ought not to be removed from the office of the Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court of Kenya.
Mirete was accused of gross misconduct and the breach of the Constitution following a complaint by the Kenya Tea Grower Association in a 2017 industrial dispute involving the Kenya Plantation, Agricultural Workers Union, Unilever, and 5 other firms for overruling a case handled by a fellow judge of a similar jurisdiction. The complainants claimed that though Justice Mirete was aware that the case had been handled by another judge, he went ahead and issued orders which had the effect of setting aside the orders of a fellow judge. According to the tribunal, which released its findings in Nairobi on Tuesday, the move by the judge to issue the ex parte orders in the Kericho case did not violate the law.
The Honorable Judge, in issuing the ex parte interim orders in the Kericho suits, did not violate Section 6 of the Civil Procedure Act. 2. The manner in which the Honorable Judge handled Kericho ELRC application number 6 of 2017 between the employers and the union, he did not exhibit bias or partisanship on his part.
On May 24, 2019, Justice Marete, through lawyer Gitobo Imanyara, filed a case seeking to stop the tribunal from probing him, a move which was dismissed by the court. Justice Marete, who was appointed on July 13, 2012, in 2019 protested a proposal to investigate his conduct, saying the decision was an attempt to appease public hostility. Deacon Sylvander, Hope TV Newswatch.
And Kenya has continued to record lesser COVID-19 figures even as the World Health Organization has come out to defend its earlier statement on Kenya's situation, saying the statement was not aimed at challenging the government of Kenya, but rather raising a concern on whether the peak of the virus in the country had already passed. This as the country has today recorded 114 new coronavirus cases. Patrobo Juang has the report.
The country has recorded 114 new cases of COVID-19, raising the total cases of the pandemic in Kenya to 34,315 after a sample of 1,682 was tested in the last 24 hours. While confirming the new numbers, Health CAS Rashid Aman said all the new cases were Kenyans except for one who was a foreigner, with the youngest being a 1-year-old infant and the oldest being an 85-year-old.
Mombasa registered 17 cases, Nairobi 16, Garissa 15, Kiambu 14, Kitui 14, Busia 12, Taita Taveta 8, Uasin Gishu 6, Nyeri 5, Migori 3, Machakos 2, Embu 1, and Kisumu 1.
In terms of the good news, at least 318 patients have recovered from the coronavirus, bringing the total number of recoveries in the country so far to 20,211. A total of 263 of those discharged were from the home-based care program, while 55 were discharged from various health hospital facilities, with the number of fatalities remaining at 577 as no death was recorded in the last 24 hours.
The total recoveries now stands at 20,211. And we want to thank our healthcare workers for their selfless devotion to duty that has enabled us to achieve these results. Today, I'm also delighted to inform you that we have not registered any deaths, and our fatality therefore remains at 577.
The CAS, Aman, has since acknowledged the challenge in contact tracing, especially in hotspot areas like Nairobi and Kiambu. 21 counties fall in the bracket of 10 to 100 cases, while those in the lowest category, with only 1 to 10 cases, are Elgeyo Marakwet and West Pokot. Patrobo Juang, Hope TV Newswatch.
Solicitor General Kennedy Ogeto has dismissed reports that the government has been disobeying court orders even after the judiciary faulted the president for failing to appoint 41 judges that were recommended by the Judicial Service Commission. He said the Office of the Attorney General and the Department of Justice has strived to ensure the rule of law in all government institutions, hence the need to ensure court orders are respected. Ogeto was speaking during a flagging off ceremony of 16 vehicles and desktop computers to 12 regions with AG's office. Ogeto at the same time has decried lack of funds at the Office of the Attorney General, saying it has hindered its operations. He said apart from challenges occasioned by lack of office equipment, state council offices across the country have faced logistical challenges on court attendance.
As the government's principal lawyer, we are tasked with a great burden, one that needs considerable resources to undertake. With as high as 3,000 cases filed against the government every year, inadequate equipment has been posing a serious threat to our efficiency and effectiveness. A recent report by the Task Force on Pending Legal Bills shows that the total pending legal bills owed by ministries, departments, and agencies runs into billions of shillings. We have to admit, ladies and gentlemen, that some of these cases would have been successfully defended and these bills minimized if we had the required facilitation. With this commissioning, we are moving closer to our goal of being present in all the 47 counties. The objective is to try and be in all the 47 counties. But you know there are issues of budget, resources, just like you can see now. So we cannot achieve that immediately, but going forward, the objective is to ensure that we are present in all the 47 counties. We provide a wide array of services to the public. You have issues of registration of companies, issues of registration of marriages, defending the government in court. So it would be preferable if we are actually closer to the people. But because of resources, we are not able to.
News Watch now takes a short commercial break. Still have more lined up for you. We'll be back.
Welcome to Rafiki Gardens along Kangondo Road by HopeTvKenya. This is an ideal and affordable piece of investment that is strategically placed within the Nairobi metropolis. Rafiki Gardens is close to key social amenities like schools, banks and shopping malls. This project comes with ready title deeds, Maram roads and a marking fence round the property. Get a plot at only 695,000 Kenya shillings cash price. You can also pay a 50% deposit and pay the rest in 6 months installments. Call us today on 0702 8310 83 or visit www.optiven.co.ke.
Some people say they know about our hustle, but believe me, this is no regular job. You know about that early start? Not that one. The start before that early start. You sat for an exam? Add a cat to the mix, due tomorrow. Plus a part-time job for those student loans. Now we're talking about a hustle. Don't forget about that side hustle that you hope will one day be your main hustle. So, to stay focused through it all, we need the perfect cup to fuel winning in life. Try Nescafe 3-in-1.
At CETM Schools, we are offering online classes via the G Suite education platform in all 7 schools across the country. These classes run from 1st of September 2020 to November 2020. We will be offering assignments and productive projects, very affordable yet quality service, personalized and interactive sessions, real-time feedback on progress of learners, life skills, guidance and counseling, and Bible clubs. This is open to non-CETM pupils and promises to be an exciting learning experience in an environment that embodies biblical values. To enroll, please log on to www.cetemschools.sc.ke. CETM Schools, educating the whole person.
Welcome back. You're watching Hope TV News Watch. A section of religious leaders in Malindi, in partnership with a group of leaders from the Mijikenda community dubbed Tyren, have demanded for the complete overhaul of the Ministry of Health over corruption allegations. The leaders who spoke earlier today have also demanded that Health CS Mutahi Kagwe, Health PS Susan Muchache and KEMSA Chairman Kembe Gitura steps aside as investigations into the COVID-19 corruption allegations continue. Mark Omondi reports.
As the country continues to battle the prevailing pandemic, Kenyans are still pushing to know the culprits behind the alleged embezzlement of funds at the Health Ministry. The country received a series of donations from organizations. The 1.3 billion shillings from World Bank is just one among the donations alleged to have flooded the pockets of some unknown cartels. Religious leaders in the coastal region, in conjunction with the Tyren, a Mijikenda group, now want Health CS Mutahi Kagwe, Health PS Susan Muchache and KEMSA Chairman Kembe Gitura to step aside as investigations into the COVID-19 corruption allegations continue.
Was a law broken in procurement? The reverse procurement? I don't think so. I think the question is the question that will be asked, the question that keeps coming up.
The religious leaders have called on political leaders across the country to come out and support the fight against corruption in the country, while at the same time urging the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission ESCC to ensure that those who looted the COVID-19 funds are brought to book. A cold war has now unfolded in the country, dominating the better part of last month, with political, religious leaders and different stakeholders advocating for the impeachment of key leaders in the Ministry of Health alleged to have been involved in the fraud. Kenya has so far secured 223 billion shillings from the international community for its fight against COVID-19 pandemic. However, the alleged theft of funds and donations, including much-needed personal protective equipment (PPE), has led to shortages of finances and materials in various hospitals across the country. The shortage of PPEs has seen cases of healthcare workers contracting the deadly virus rising, with some even succumbing to the disease. Meanwhile, nearly 100 civil society organizations from around the world have written to the International Monetary Fund urging it to include anti-corruption measures for emergency fund given to governments whose economies are reeling from the COVID-19 pandemic. Mark Kimondo, Newswatch.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has urged the global community to start viewing and engaging young people as an asset with current value and not as a future promise. The president said if properly nurtured and provided with the right opportunities, the youth have unlimited potential to become change makers. The head of state spoke on Tuesday evening at State House, Nairobi, during a virtual high-level meeting of the United Nations Generation Unlimited. The president said social institutions, the environment, especially the education system, and lack of self-drive were among the major setbacks impeding the youth from reaching their potential as change makers.
The biggest enemy of progress is lack of self-drive and self-motivation. If governments provide education for youth and the right environment, what then is their role and the role of the youth themselves? I take the position that the youth must be on their part and have the right mindset, and they must appreciate the essence of self-discipline, hard work, and especially integrity. They must believe in creating wealth and not desiring to be rich using shortcut methods. But because of their social circumstances, young people have a tendency sometimes to disregard themselves. But in Kenya, we are hoping to reverse the situation. We are telling our young people that they are actually closer to the future than we are, and that in their endeavors they are likely to discover things that we cannot fathom in our lifetimes. And this is because the future belongs to them, if only they have the right mindset. In sum, we are telling our youth that the only way to become a change maker in Generation Unlimited is to confront their fears. Do what you are afraid of, so long as it's positive. If your social institution and environment limits you, engage them positively. And because you can't do everything, we encourage you to do something. While at it, we are also telling them not to allow what they cannot do disrupt what they are doing. And this is how the youth of our world will become the change makers that we need. In the face of challenges, they find a way out. And if there's no way out, they create one. And in good times, they look to opportunities. And if there are no opportunities, they create them. And that is why they are called makers of things. And so, friends and partners, if young people are to distinguish themselves as makers of change, they have to start by breaking boundaries. And if they are to become the Generation Unlimited, they have to confront the things that limit them, the boundaries that block them. And I want to suggest 3 obstacles that limit our youth from becoming change makers. The first are our social institutions. Young people are viewed in society as a distant promise meant to hatch into future leaders at some point. Yet in reality, our youth are not a promissory note. They are a present gift to be utilized today and not tomorrow. And if properly nurtured in school to preserve the common good, they are the present asset, not future prospect.
Immediate former Marsabit County Commissioner Evans Achoki has assured residents of Narok County that he will work with all local leaders as he takes over as the new county commissioner. Achoki has taken over from the outgoing Narok County Commissioner Samuel Kimiti, who's been transferred to Bungoma County. Evans Achoki takes over at a time that tensions have been escalating in the county that has been rocked by intercommunal conflicts for years.
Mr. Achoki is not new to me. We have worked together in other places. We worked together in Moyare when we were deals, and we have been interacting even much earlier in other places. So he's somebody I know, and I have no doubt that the government has made the best choice for this county. I'm heading to Bungoma, and therefore I want to leave this county with you. May God help you. May you succeed even more than what we had succeeded.
I'm looking forward to work with the entire leadership of the county, and also I'm going to be a very keen listener. I'm going to be very keen to learn new issues and see how we can work together to resolve any challenges that are arising. So I'm looking forward to work with you, to consult with you. I am available and ready to serve.
All right, we do apologize for that name mix-up there. Now, 11 Kenyan seafarers have joined 2 Spanish-flagged research vessels involved in fisheries work within the Western Indian Ocean rim. The move comes as Kenya allowed sailors to disembark from ships onto its soil for the first time in 3 months as it relaxed restrictions against seafarers imposed to combat the spread of COVID-19. Speaking at the Tonny Fisheries Jetty in Mombasa County, Chief Executive Officer, Mombasa Ocean Agency, said the 11 will work as deck hands and engine room staff, underwent mandatory COVID-19 screening and were put in quarantine at the Mombasa Beach Hotel, one of the designated quarantine centers, before joining the vessels. The 11 Kenyans who left aboard the vessels over the weekend will work for 4 months. Renewable contracts aboard RV Luxtrue and RV Sorry But.
Shukuru serikali yetu ya Kenya, na nimependekezwa na ile mikakati walioweka kuhakikisha kwamba hii ni opportunity, nafasi nzuri ya mabaharia wetu, vijana wetu hapa Mombasa na Kenya kwa jumla kuweza kupata nafasi. Juzi mabaharia 11 waliokwenda, tumerecruit 8 new crews ambao ni Kenyan, wameweza kupata nafasi za kazi. Unlike kama zoezi limefanyikia kama Shelisheli, huwa mara nyingi watu wa West Africa ndo wanachukua nafasi kubwa, alafu wa Kenya wanajikuta wamekuwa kidogo sana wachache. Lakini kwa sasa hivi naona Kenyan government pia ikitupatia support nzuri, tutaweza kuleta meli nyingi, manake their fleets, wana fleets nyingi sana. Tunaweza kuleta meli hata kama ni 30, 40 kwa ajili ya crew change. But we should take this opportunity na tuchukue nafasi hii tuitumie, kwa sababu Ushelisheli hivi sasa wamesimamisha crew change. Sasa hii nafasi yetu mwafaka, tushirikiane na serikali na vitengo vyote vya usalama, tukitizamia mikakati iliyowekwa na Ministry of Health, Wizara ya Afya, kuangalia kwamba tunavyofanya crew change pia tunaangalia mikakati yote iliyowekwa.
All right, News Watch takes another short commercial break. When we come back, we'll be looking at business news. Stay with us.
Happy New Month to each and every one of you. This coming Sunday, the 6th of September, at the CBS Family Service, join CITIM's presiding Bishop Dr. David Ogende as he takes us through the topic, Discerning God's Voice. In such times, it is important to know whose voice you're listening to. So, please join us live at 10 a.m. on Hope TV, Hope FM, and all CITIM Church online social media platforms.
Our Christian life is not just about God always stepping in when you are in trouble. But sometimes you need to go through the valley of the shadow of death, and God will say, angels, stand away. He must go through that. She must go through that. Because out of this would come something greater and more beautiful.
Welcome back. KenGen has recommended dividend payout of 1.65 billion shillings for its shareholders for the year ended June 30, 2019. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Rebecca Miano said they will offer a dividend of 0.25 shillings for the year for every ordinary share of 2.50 shillings. KenGen's total revenue grew from 45.30 billion shillings in 2018 to 45.97 billion shillings in 2019, leading to a 1.5% growth. Other income increased from 275 million shillings to 619 million shillings, mainly because of consultancy services, insurance compensation and tax refund. Miano observed that during the period ending June 2019, a business remained resilient despite challenging economic conditions in the country and globally. She noted that the medium-term macroeconomic environment will be tough, compounded by the economic shocks brought about by the coronavirus disease, COVID-19, but in the long term, the current conditions present opportunities to diversify as the economy recovers from the crisis. And Kenya's unemployment rate has witnessed a steep rise, with the latest labor report by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics showing that the number of employed Kenyans shrunk to 15.9 million Kenyans from a high of 17.8 million Kenyans in March. The unemployment rate now stands at 10.4% from 5.2% in March, with employment to population ratio sliding to 57.7% from 64.4%. George Jesse reports.
Chochote kuja kwa hoteli, vijana wengi kwa hizo hospitality industry, mahoteli, transport, tourism, watu wengi wako nyumbani.
The effect of COVID-19 has continued to be felt, with enterprises being forced to fold under the weight of the pandemic, further thrashing the unemployment rate up. With the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, KNBS, showing that 48.5% of the working population are working employers and own workers, temporary business closure and temporary work slack due to technical and economic reasons has seen the number of unemployed Kenyans grow by 58.6% to 1.8 million Kenyans from 961,666 in the first quarter. According to KNBS, individuals absent from work due to COVID-19 related challenges was 61.9%, up from 49.9% that was recorded in May this year.
Hizo kazi waliaidiana mingi ilikuwa politics, but bado kuna vitu wanaweza fanya. Cost of running business hii Nairobi iko juu sana. Zile fees tunalipa kwa kanjo kufungua biashara, zile fees tunalipa kununua vitu za kueneza kustock mabiashara na kufanya biashara ziendelee, iko juu sana. Biashara mingi zinafunguliwa zikifail juu za zile maushuru serikali inachukua. So serikali kae chini iangalie mambo ya licenses, mambo ya taxes za biashara ndogo ndogo, biashara kubwa mpaka industrialization, ikuje chini tuweze kuinvite investors both local and foreign. Kazi zitapatikana virahisi.
The much anticipated 1.3 million jobs promised by Jubilee government, mostly dependent on industrialization and manufacturing agenda, being key in the creation of the jobs, has fallen short, with a total of 1.9 million Kenyans losing their jobs to date, as per the statistician office.
Ilibidi sisi wote tuende nyumbani, akatuambia sisi sababu you are not directly needed in the company, you have to stay at home. And the only thing that the company can be able to cater for is only those needs, the NHF, NSSF, and the insurance, because we are covered. Drivers only, they are covered with insurance, of which mimi naona kwangu tumeumia.
A banking sector that is under stress, with several banks in the country dealing with default loans and registering losses, has also contributed to a constrained access to capital, which has seen the inactive labor force in the country increase by 3% to 7 million Kenyans.
I believe the government has what it takes to restart the economy. One, pesa kupeleka mashinani, na wapunguze hii mikakati mingi ya kupata zile pesa. Juu vijana kama wanaweza pewa hizi pesa, wakusanyishwe kikundi, wapewe hizo pesa bila hiyo mikakati mingi, then I think we can start from somewhere. Because if upatie vijana wanze mambo ya kulisha kuku na nini, projects kama hizo na kuwe na advising mechanism ya advise watu what they can do with that money. Because the problem we have, unapea vijana pesa na unaacha hivyo.
According to the just released quarterly labor report by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, KNBS, the highest proportion of the unemployed has remained between ages 20 and 24 and 25 and 29 respectively. The greater picture of the COVID-19 pandemic on the economy will be seen in the coming week as KNBS publishes its second quarter GDP print. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Joe Jesse.
And that report from Joe Jesse brings us to the end of this live broadcast of Newswatch. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'll see you again tomorrow, same time. My name is Tonny Omondi and our sign language interpreter has been Boniface Murithi. Have a good night and God bless.